Okay, so I'm going to just say, hey, this equals something, and I'm going to call it
X?
x. Yeah. So I'm going to say this is x, and now I'm going to look at minus x first, which is just going to be minus 1, plus 1, minus 1, plus 1, minus 1, plus 1.
Well, it looks like you just subtracted a 1 away
Well,
from here.
yeah, actually that's a great observation. But do you understand why minus x? If I multiply this whole term by minus 1, why do I get minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1?
Well, because the minus ones times minus 1 would turn into plus 1, and the plus ones times minus 1 would turn into a minus 1. And none of the integers change because they're multiplied by minus 1.
Yeah, and you made a great observation here. It looks like minus x just seems to equal
X minus 1.
this seems to equal x minus 1. That's what you noticed. Can you see why that's true? Why does minus x just look like x taking our, and then maybe to be clearer, I'll say minus 1 plus x. Why does minus x just look like putting a minus 1 in front of this x?
Well, because on the regular x, you start with 1 minus 1 plus 1, dot dot dot.
Mhm.
Now you start with minus 1 plus 1 minus 1, and if there was a 1 here, it would equal x.
Uh-huh.
It would be like 1 minus 1, but you've taken that one out.
Or
It's
you
not
could
there anymore.
Okay, yeah,
chop
that's
off.
one way of
You
looking
could
at it.
chop off this minus 1. Just look at it from here onward.
Yeah, right. There, actually, that's great. You guys found two different ways where this expression shows up. First, I could just say, what happens if I put a minus 1 in front of this expression, and I get that. And this part here is x. You see that? Plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus
Yep.
1. Or, if I just subtract this one away, I get the expression down here. Well, that's cool. How do I solve an equation like this if I'm going to try to solve for x? What do I need to do?
Well,
Or what? Can you see a number that solves this equation?
Well, 1/2 seems to solve this equation.
All right. What is that? Minus 1/2 equals minus 1 plus a half.
yeah, that works.
And what's the way you solve an equation like this? You know,
Well-
you've seen algebra.
I can move this x to this side and move the 1 to this side.
So I get an equation that says 2x equals 1.
So x is a half.
X is a half.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's one way to prove it.
Well, yeah, proof is an interesting word to use here. Do you believe this equals a half if you go out? That this is the same thing? Equals means like really the same thing. Totally equal.
It seems kind of weird.
Yeah, it does seem kind of weird.
So,
Do you believe it?
I kind of just proved it.
Yeah, it did seem to kind of disprove it. Well, sort of. I said if it equals something. I'm just gonna assume it equals something. I'm gonna call it X.
We don't know if it equals something or not.
If it
It-
equals a real number.
If it equals something, that something has to be a half.
But what if it doesn't equal anything?
Yeah. What if it doesn't equal that? Is there ever a point where you stop and it equals a half?
No.
No.
No. So what do you think?
Weird.
If you were gonna vote, would you vote that this sum equals a half or not equals a half?
Well, common sense kind of shows that it's not a half, but
We just
Yeah.
proved that it is a half,
Well-
assuming that it actually is a number.
Yeah.
I would vote not a half, but if there was a way to prove that it like actually equaled something, then I would vote a half.
Okay. And what do you think? Do you think it equals a half or not equals a half?
I think it equals a half.
I think it equals a half. Okay. Well, cool. So infinity, it's very mysterious. It's kind of fun to have seen this in a couple different places. Anyway, good work today. Good job, guys.